And we're here. I thought I was gonna do one yesterday, but there was information coming about multiplayer and zombies and all of it, and I was like, no, I gotta wait a little bit more because this is a shitstorm that everybody is like, uh. So, hello everyone. Um, let's just say, let's just get right to the point. It's a very Call of Duty Vanguard. It's just a very meh campaign, man. Um, I'm not gonna even stress it like well I'm not even going to actually say that it's a good one. It, it's not. It's just it's very meh. What do I mean with meh? It's like I'm watching because I didn't buy the game and I don't think I'm gonna buy it. Um, I said in my past streams that I was gonna watch the whole thing because nobody was waiting for this Call of Duty. Nobody wanted this Call of Duty. Everybody just wanted a new map in Warzone, an anti cheat for all the cheaters and hackers. Other than that, everybody was wanting more content of Cold War and Modern Warfare. That's it. Um, if and you can see it with the leaks of Modern Warfare 2. Everybody was like, "Oh, Modern Warfare 2, the leaks, the leaks." Hey, but there's a new Call of Duty coming out. It's like we don't care. We want Modern Warfare 2 content leaks, you know. And you could see it in promos. They were pushing it too hard, like this and that, and more maps, and the new choice of Blitz. Having like Shipment 12 versus 12, or Rust versus 12 versus 12, and you're like, oh yeah. But let's stick right now with the title because there's a list to go on with the multiplayer and zombies all in use. In the sense of way, I'm glad that I didn't bought this Call of Duty. I think I'm not gonna buy it in the future. Uh, it's just I don't I don't see the worth. But what I will say is, oh, this this campaign. I watched it from three different YouTubers. I watched it from Chaos. I watched it from Team Iron. I watched it from Hollow. Oh my god! I understand where they were going with this fictional uh, World War II thing, but you there, it felt more like I'm watching a movie than actually playing a Call of Duty. As simple as that. That's as simple as I can put it. I'm watching a movie or a series rather than playing because there was so much cutscene, and even within the missions, it was so much cutscene. Some things didn't felt right for a Call of Duty. I understand that you're trying to make the characters likable, uh, but it's just too much narration, too much explanation instead of showcasing. And I think that's what Modern Warfare 2019 did well. The explanation of the characters was within the actions, within the decisions they took, rather than a narration from one of the main characters, like, oh, narrating this and that. And like, dude, you don't need to. When you meet someone, you don't want anyone else telling you, oh, he's this, he's that. You want that person to showcase who he is, through his actions, through his own dialogue, not from a third party, you know. And in this case, Arthur narrating the whole characters thing, and even his backstory is like, come on, man. No narration was needed. If you wanted to showcase uh, them characters, he just let it showcase. You don't need narration. That's it. No need to explain things. I think what Sledgehammers did was the Suicide Squad thing. Narrate everything in a clusterfuck of information, and with that you achieve nothing, just boredness. There was a point that I was bored of the explanations. Like, when are we gonna get to see the gameplay? It's like, and then you gameplay, and it's like next cutscene. It's like I'm watching a 30-minute cutscene to just play 10 minutes, and that's it. In Modern Warfare, it's reversed. In Cold War, it's somewhat reversed. So, and if you look at the Modern Warfare's in the Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, in a sense of way, Ghost and Infinite Warfare, Advanced Warfare, no, Advanced Warfare and World War II suffer from the same thing: 30-minute cutscene, 10-minute gameplay. So that's a Sledgehammer's thing that I think they don't understand how to do a campaign. This is the third strike from me towards them of saying their campaign ain't cutting it. If you want me to watch a movie or a series, then make it one and then charge me instead of 60, now 70, charge me like 40 or 50 for multiplayer and the third game mode, either zombies or either spec ops. I don't I don't need that. Like a 30-minute cutscene and a 10-minute gameplay. And they're very linear because even though they make like slight changes, like, oh, you can do how it was, it doesn't feel like it. It feels so linear from them. For as much as they give you an option, it doesn't feel like they give you an option, because once hell broke loose with T Martin, with Chaos, with Hollow, it's like, uh they want you to do it a certain way. They don't want you to go your way, you know, like in Modern Warfare. So it's it's like that, and man, what a disappointment in the campaign. Now, their construction of the special unit. Number one, they wouldn't have recruited Polina Petrov. One, she's Soviet, and the Soviet soldiers is like Stalin was in almost no communication with the Allies, and the communication that he had was with Roosevelt, but was in secret, because if Churchill knew, uh, then England would have had a rough situation with trusting the United States at that point in time. So she wouldn't have been recruited. No way. Um, for Lucas, to be recruited for this ally thing, they wouldn't. If they're marking that Aussies, they uh, were treated like second class citizens in war. Well, second class soldiers actually. From British, they wouldn't have grabbed an Aussie. They would have just, you know, send them to be cannon fodder, and that's it. No special missions. For as good as he is, they wouldn't have done that. Uh, and even if they wanted a covert operation for, you know, going the whole thing of making the special operations. You got two groups. You got the Rangers and you got the SAS. The first two special forces that were created in the world. So you could have kind of like, oh, we're sending a small group of SAS with a spy of MI6, into the heart of Berlin. And in order for them to exfil, they gotta meet the Rangers at some point. And that's it. But no, they don't. They want this fictionalize, integrate things. You know, it doesn't work that way. Arthur Kingsley would have worked in the paratroopers unit and then being recruited for SAS. Or you could have done, how to put it, you could have put, I'm trying to remember this pilot's name, this American guy. There was no way he would have gone from Pacific to the Eastern from that quickly. Uh, I think it would have been more important for him to actually remain in the air in the Pacific rather than go Eastern, just because he's a good pilot. That's it. That's your excuse of recruiting him for this special operations. Nah, he would have done more air missions, but because he was with the 93rd, he would have gone with more, how to go, blitz operations with them, with, I don't know, you could say, um you could say special squadron or a squadron of support, air support, and say, hey, we need this. And he's, well, not taken down, but helping them on the ground, either with bomb runs or gun runs. So while he takes off zeros off the air, you could have switched back and forth. It's like, hey, I got AAA guns over here, and you switch down to the 93rd. Boom, a better idea for his fucking levels. Um, for God, and that this is what pissed me off. One of the things that pissed me off from the campaign, Polina. If she's fighting in Stalingrad, I don't see any bodies. I don't see any, how to put it, fortifications of Soviets going, on their things, even with civilians. She wouldn't have been the only women. Well, actually, women, men, yeah, women, in that front. Or if she's based on the Soviet snipers, she's one of many. She would have coordinated with the others. She's like, oh, let's go over here. We're going to support this group, in this, in defending the river or this position. Simple as that. You don't need this. How to put it? There was no solo act that actually inspired a whole army. It was mostly individuals within the battle that was occurring that actually soldiers looked up to. But because Stalin was so egotistical, all those things, even in the press, it was like, oh, Stalin doesn't care. He doesn't promote heroes. What he wants is his own glory and revenge against Hitler. And you can actually search it in history books and in topics. It's like, and it has come out even more recently. It's like he has little need for heroes. He just wants his revenge against Hitler and his people. So even though you had heroes of Stalingrad or heroes in Berlin, he didn't care. He didn't promote them or anything or use them for his propaganda within Russia. He was just like, we did it, we push. And I think there was this movie of this Soviet sniper that was hunting. There was this rivalry um, with the German one. But if you look at the newspapers, even though it's somewhat because it's Hollywood, it has to be somewhat Hollywood esque. But the part that is real is when they're showcasing this newspaper notes. It's just like a footnote. It's not a big article. It's just like small there put. That's it. That's the whole thing. Because Stalin didn't want to encourage heroes and everything. He wasn't. It's not like you show up and and you do something fantastic in battle and for in the United States Army, and then you're like, oh yeah, you're regarded a hero and everything, and you're praised and everything. With Stalin, it's like you do that. It's like, yeah, you did your service. Let's sit down. You're no hero. You're just a regular soldier. It didn't matter, even if it was higher rank. It's like, no, Stalin takes the glory. Husky was like that. So, um, if they wanted more air missions with fighter pilots on the Eastern Front, it would have been the Night Witches. Where was that? I mean, come on. Come on, Sledgehammers. You said that you had your research. Where is it? Where was that level? I was hoping that you at least had a mention of them, but no. Um, another thing. This guy. Um, oh yeah. Um, from what I can see actually saw from these two YouTubers, the resolution for the game, I saw it in PS5 and in the Series X. It's like some of the character models were pixelated. Like I was seeing 360 graphics. I was surprised that it happened in some of the levels. I'm not sure if it was some rendering problem or if, because of the YouTube thing, or more so on the end of compacting all the files. And that was some of the things. And literally, don't get me started with the weaponry of. I understand that it's a video game, but if you're going to say that it's going to be somewhat historically accurate, one, Japanese never had SDGs 44. They never received that weapon. Two, there was no attachments whatsoever, and the only attachment that you had was for snipers, and that was a scope. And it was mostly mounted in bolt action rifles, and the few times that it was mounted on an M1 Garand was more so for marksmen. And it had to be specially attached. You cannot just. And silencers were still in their infancy, and the only silence weapon that you found at the time that was effective. Uh, Actually, let me correct that. It's not silence; it's suppressed. It was this one shot that you had to reload and make the action yourself, and that was meant for spies more so than uh, your average trooper. So a lot of things, a lot of things that they're very wrong. It's just I think Sledgehammers went so fictional that they forgot reality of stuff and trying to create their own um, inclusive story when in reality it's like you can just do what Battlefield 1 did with World War II stories, each one individual. You wanted special operations in Berlin, you could have sent SAS or Rangers, or more so the first front that the Soviets had. The scouting parties that they had in order for them to actually uh, recon the area and soften the defenses in order for the Great Army to just push. If you wanted the tank battle in Libya with the Aussies and the English, there was no mention of Montgomery. Montgomery was key on coordinating everything. I understand that there was the Aussies, but you could have just put in, hey, the Aussies are going to take this brunt. Oh, okay, they're going to take this brunt. And you could have seen like, oh, they made the push and they actually pushed the Germans harder than the English. And Montgomery said, yeah, it's like, that was your job. I'm not going to recognize you. But you could have made some characters protest. You could have made Lucas's character protest against Montgomery instead of just I think it was Captain. So many things that was wrong with the campaign, even in their fictitious world. They could have been better, but I think it's one of the things that they just spew out and they go with it instead of sitting down and revise. Okay, does it make sense? Can we make it better? Nothing. So missed opportunities and too much narrative explanation when you could have used that time of cutscenes to actually showcase through actions with each character. With the German ones, I do have somewhat of an issue with them because yes, it is understandable that within Nazis there were secrets, amongst themselves. Though the thing of them, appointing a next Führer with this Freisinger guy is like, dude, there was no next Führer. It was more so, uh, you go underground, you coordinate with what you have, and then when you can rise, you can actually designate a leader. Or what was the original plan with the Nazis was that have a committee of individual leaders in several sectors in South America in order to coordinate, Fourth Reich Rising, very close to the American territory, while Europe still recovers and suffers from Stalin in a sense of way. But uh, just and the way that you kill this Freisinger guy is like so meh, so unepic, so not closing. It's like they just know the guy from their first United mission, and even though in a sense of way Paulina somewhat knows who the guy is, still doesn't make it. Yeah, still doesn't make it as, oh yeah, Paulina got her revenge. It's like, no, it doesn't feel like it because it's not so personal. Because Freisinger didn't personally kill his grandpa, nor his brother, nor his comrades. You know, um, I think the reason why Makarov, Sakaev, and Menendez. I'm trying to think of the other one. In a sense of way, Rourke, Dragovich, Kravchenko, Steiner. Um, Even though they mention him, but it's like, to the side. The reason why they are so impactful is because they interact directly with the character, and they are responsible for you're suffering. Freisinger is just like very to the side, and they're trying to make you think, oh, he's the one that you have to like. No, they just know it's Freisinger, but that was when it was like, oh, Paulina, have you seen it? It's like, yeah, I have seen him mentioned, but I don't. It's like, if that's him, yeah, but there's nothing personal towards it. And even though they killed this character from the beginning, that you are is like, uh, okay, but you just met the guy. There's no attachment towards it. Um, the one that I think would have been better, and it was somewhat justified. It was the this other British guy that was friends with Arthur. That was justified, but mm, still not so much heartfelt. So I don't know. So much potential, so much wasted, and that ending is like, oh yeah, we're mentioning Project Nova. Oh yeah, we're mentioning Project Ether and Nazi Goal and everything. It's like, really, really, if that's your way to actually be connected instead of showcasing us uh, the, each individual project. I would assume uh, Arthur would have found out, and he would have been one of the groups of the SAS, and he sees Resnov escape from the iceberg, from the sinking ship, and then capture him and be like, it's like, trying to interrogate, but he knows nothing. So, and they just let him go. Um, Project Ether, that would have been more so Patrona. Yeah, Paulina, assisting with the Ether project, that the Soviets found because there were Soviet footage, according to Cold War's initial campaign of zombies. So I don't know. There's so much wasted thing just trying to be inclusive in the campaign instead of thinking how it should be. I don't know, man. Campaign wise, Sledgehammer, get a third X for me. Strike three, you're done. On multiplayer, I want I want to make a stream tomorrow discussing multiplayer, and it's going to be heavy. The reason why is because so many things are coming out from multiplayer that, even though many people say, "Oh, it's like a World War II version of Modern Warfare 2019," but there's so many issues that they're coming out that it's making the experience so meh within them. And one of the things that Sledgehammers kept from the beta, and everybody was saying, "Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it." The my team versus the enemy team. That's stupidity at its. I don't know. It's it's just it's just it's like, I don't know what's on their heads. My team versus the enemy team. It's like, in a World War II game. Excuse me, they saying Fortnite. They're saying for kids. Like, your core audience, even though it's like it has kids, but your core audience is adolescents and young adults. So my team versus the enemy team, no, it's Germans versus one of the allied countries, either English, either American, or either Soviets. And you can put, because there was a case of Soviets versus the Japanese. You could have put English versus Japanese, Americans versus Japanese, or the Nazi Italy front. You know, Italy versus English, Italy versus the United States. So yeah, this is in a sense of way that's one of many things that we're going to discuss tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central Time, because they keep coming up, they screw it up big time, and this is going to, and I think because even zombies, players that play zombies, Call of Duty content creators are saying that it's uninterested, and it comes from Treyarch. So I think this is the last Call of Duty Sledgehammers is the lead developer. It's just it was just a waste of money and time. Anyways, we're gonna discuss that one tomorrow, 2 p.m. Central Time. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe if you like the content, and yeah, Sledgehammers has to take a back seat. But we're gonna discuss that one later. Until then, take care, stay safe, and yeah, take care of your loved ones. Have a conversation with them now and then. To see how they are. Even though you can't do much stuff, at least let them know you're there. That helps somewhat. So yeah. Anyways, yeah.